because tonight we have not only Mary Esther, we have a special call with Mary Esther. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Carmen Lopez. I'm the Vice President of Development for North and South America. And it's an honor today to be here with you. I'm glad that you took the time to join us because tonight's call is very special. During our convention, we had Mary Esther Gilbert, which many of you know, come up on stage live, and she shared with you a little bit about all of our products. And so tonight we want to recreate that, and we're going to record it. Plus, we're going to make sure that we have it saved because we want all of you to get a refresher if you've been here with us for a while, but also if you're new, so you know more about all of our drops. And so she's going to share with you, with her knowledge, the amazing Mary Esther Gilbert. She has been with us for a long time. She comes with us every month and shares with you all of our different drops, what they do, the ingredients, how the ingredients react with you, what do they do to your body. And this year we're changing the format a little bit. We're going to do all the drops today, and then our kits. How does 2 drops work together to help you, and how does it work within your body? So I know that she's an amazing person. She has a great webpage. If you have not gone into her webpage, I strongly encourage you to go into her webpage and check it out and see all the great resources that she has there for you. She has a gazillion degrees that I can't even mention half of them, but she's very knowledgeable. She is very knowledgeable not only about our products, but about the holistic approach. And so I want you to welcome Mary Esther Gilbert, who is going to delight you tonight with all of her great knowledge about our amazing drops, ingredients, and what they do for you. So Mary Esther, without any further ado, welcome and Happy New Year.
Well, thank you so much, Carmen. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to do this. This is going to be so much fun. Now, I have a question for you, Carmen. I have prepared I have the other original slideshow that I presented in Texas, but then when you sent me the kits, I prepared a different slideshow for that. So which slideshow would you like me to show you tonight?
Oh, the one from Texas. That's the one we're going to do today.
Okay. All right. So it's a good thing I asked. So let me go ahead and call that one up. And then I will share my screen. All right, you should be able to see the slideshow.
Yes, we can.
Can everyone see that?
Yes.
All right, super. How wonderful to have so many people on the call tonight. Welcome, everybody. And I just love going over all 18 of them. But yes, it's a good thing we do the monthlies, and hopefully we'll go even further as the year goes on so that I can delve even a little deeper as far as what the fantastic compounds in these plants do in these formulations. Every time we get together, I share a little bit more because I figure, well, everyone is starting to get more and more educated and probably a lot more comfortable sharing the products, right? So let's just go over this slideshow again, and I'll go into just a little bit more detail than we had time to do on stage in Texas. And so here we go. All right, so Carmen did an excellent job just, telling everybody what I've been doing the last 45 years. So I'll just go ahead and let you pause that later if you want to look at it some more. And is anyone here new? Do we have any new people here, Carmen? We do. Okay, I see Julia's thumbs up. All right, so I will be going over the preliminary information about the company very briefly so that we can get into the 18 products. So the AGO product line, it's got the superfood botanicals, over 1,000 botanicals in these 18 formulations. And so, like I said before many times, these plant nutrient compounds are the key to helping the body at the microcell level return back to normal, to normalize its processes and to do a lot of regenerative repair work at the cell level. So we have rapid absorption because of the technology and because of how the drops are formulated, rapid absorption and 100% fully utilized at the microcell level, which means that most 99% of the products out on the market are not fully utilized by the body. They have to go through the digestive tract, and that's a long, slow process to break everything down and to enter the cell membrane ultimately. But the drops do that very quickly. They dissolve in the mouth, they enter the mucosal cell membranes in the mouth, they enter the bloodstream, and our wonderful nervous system, hormonal system, and immune system, and all the other monitoring systems in our bodies determine where those nutrients have to go. We have a hierarchy in our body, and so the body knows what to do with all of these amazing nutrient factors. So APL Go also has the highest industry standard worldwide certifications, ISO, kosher, halal, and in many countries they have the organic distinction. So we know that our products are organic, even though we don't have the USDA seal yet. I hope someday we will, but just know that the process to get us there is very, very, it's quite difficult to get that distinction in any country, but we do have that distinction. They're non-genetically modified. There's no, genetically modified organisms in the plant substances. It's all organic, no synthetic ingredients, anything from the soil to the seed to the growth and development of the plants, the optimal harvest times. That means maximum nutrient potencies and nutrient regenerative repairing value. So the technology is what got me into this company. I was invited to go to New York back in 2017 when just Sergey, the president of the company, wanted to establish himself in America here with APL Go. So we flew to New York. There was only a small room full of people. I heard about the technology because I had used these botanicals before many times over the years for my clients, in the form of teas and capsules and growing some of them in my herb garden, and so I had quite a storage of all of these different botanicals that I would put together for my clients. So I knew what they could do. So it was the technology, though, that set this company apart, and how absorbable. That was the key. That was what got me interested in this. And I just had to endorse it. And then I thought, I have to educate the associates because so many people out there don't know what they have. So this is why I'm here. All righty. So yeah, the technology is very, very impressive. It's unprecedented. And that explains a lot of why the drops are so absorbable. So what I like to do is just introduce the human body. All these 10 major body systems and all their subsystems are always going, always monitoring, always absorbing, always breaking things down and repurposing nutrients, repurposing molecules, all of these thousands of hormones, messenger proteins, all these things, multiple trillions of processes that are going on in the body all of the time. Okay, so we need to nourish this. We need to protect our cells and how they perform down to the DNA level. And that's why people call the APL Go Drops DNA candy, because that's exactly where these plant phytonutrient compounds go to the DNA, make the corrections so that the cells function optimally. That spells wellness, right? So inside the cells, these units of life, they're assembling, disassembling, repurposing, replicating, repairing, energy production, metabolic actions, all these biological reactions going on while we conduct our everyday lives, right? And all we have to do is nourish our body, and our body will do the rest for us. Take care of your body, and it will take care of you. That's my motto. So, I like to go into the physiology of all of this. And many of you have probably seen these photographs in my other slides and presentations. But we do need to make sure that we're utilizing optimally, ideally 100% nutrients. And we're absorbing these nutrients as they arrive through the circulatory system, and the nutrients arrive at these cell membranes. And our cell membranes are very intelligent. They know what should be going inside of our cells right here, and all of the mitochondria, the protein producing factories, energy production, and this little cell nucleus in the middle of our cells is the genetic code. The directions are instructions that make our bodies work. And the only way This will function correctly indefinitely as if you nourish your body completely and correctly. So, when things get through this cell membrane and they enter the inner factories of our cells, that's where wellness happens, or the degeneration of health happens. So it's up to us to make sure we maintain this environment. And we've got multiple trillions of cells in our body, of course. All right, so yeah, we don't want to take in any distorted molecules. We want to make sure we're always hydrating properly and oxygenating, deep breathing, exercise, getting plenty of the sun's energy. The full spectrum of the sun is extremely important. Our cells actually capture light, and that's what helps fuel everything as well. So our unit of energy in the cells are adenosine triphosphate. That unit of energy is the ATP molecule, and that's what we want to continue to fuel all of the time. I love to show the inside of the body, not just where that you can see through a microscope, but where you can see at with the electron microscopy at 10 million times magnification. So let's look into the inner world of our bodies, shall we? All right, I just picked out a few pictures. Here's the tongue. Isn't that freaky? I mean, I had no idea that our tongue had all these sharp looking things, but of course they're bendable, and they are constantly moving. And with the saliva, and when we eat or when we even talk, our tongue is constantly moving and producing the saliva so that the enzymes can help digest our foods. And this is a little photograph of our intestines. I mean, we can go even farther deep in our inner universe and see at the molecular level, at the atomic level, the subatomic level, the quantum light energy frequency levels. We can go farther and farther and farther into our inner cosmos, as much as we can go farther and farther out of our bodies, out to the outer cosmos. So everything is based on these universal laws of how everything is made. It's very exciting. So here's some arteries, and you can see the red blood cells circulating through the arteries there. Brain neurons. This is actually, these are real photographs, of what we look like on the inside. And the eyes, look at the eyes, how we take in light and process information with our nervous system. And then we have the different layers of the skin, the blood capillaries, and how hair grows, and how the skin continues to repair itself and slough off the old cells at the surface. These things are constantly going on. And what do we need to maintain all of this? Nutrients, right? Nutrients. Plant chemicals are a major component of helping our bodies to regenerate and repair and continue our life processes. Lung capillaries. See how important it is to deliver oxygen down to the smallest capillaries where real oxygen exchange takes place. The bone matrix, this is living tissue. This is an actual picture up here of, you can see the cell nuclei of all of these bone matrices. And so, blood is made within the bone marrow as well, both red and white blood cells. Our immune system is also, that's one of the places where we produce white blood cells. Red and white blood cells, here's a microelectron microscopy photograph of the both red blood cells and the immune cells, the white blood cells. And then we've got a killer T cell. These little mean little things can eat up and destroy a lot of the cells that start replicating incorrectly, that start to form abnormal cells. Then we've got the nerve bundles, and we have a superhighway of nerves that go from the brainstem all the way out to the far reaches of our fingertips and our toes, and throughout all of our organ systems. So our body is constantly delivering impulses that talk to the other cells in the body. We've got more nerve bundles there. Our muscles, if you broke down all of the muscle fibers and see the different layers that are in the muscles, it looks like a city, doesn't it? But these are muscle fibers, different types of fibers. And look at our eyelashes. Look at our hair shaft. Now that's weird. Looks like they need hair conditioner, don't they? Maybe not at that level. All right, and here's an actual cutaway of our cells. We've got the mitochondria, the energy producing factories, the protein producing factories, all of these other organelles that help package and break things down, you know, and communicate with the rest of the body. So isn't that beautiful? I mean, this is at the microcell level. People ask, well, how can this little drop of APL go do so much? Well, a lot is happening at that microcell level. Okay, and this is not even, I mean, it would take maybe 3 million drops if this were to be enlarged to the size of one drop, then it would be, you know, several million cells kind of thing. So here's another cutaway of, it's an older picture of the DNA and all the other cell components. So we are actually taking in plant cell components. Plants have the exact same kind of energy producing factories, all the energy, you know, protein and all these other organelles inside the cells. Plants actually have very, very similar things. And so that's why our DNA recognizes the DNA of plants and allows us to splice in missing segments or damaged segments of our DNA to repair based on what the DNA can actually direct the body to splice out the DNA segments of plants, knowing that those are the exact same segments that we need in our DNA to do the repair work. That's why we need to eat our fruits and vegetables, right? The plant kingdom is very, very important, as well as the other food groups. Yes, they have their role, but as far as repairing and maintaining and cleansing and detoxifying and helping the body produce energy, we need the plant kingdom. All right, and here's another depiction of a cell with all of the organelles and the DNA, which of course everyone recognizes as the double helix, and all of the gene codes that are on the double helix. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. I think it's exciting. Okay, so what do nutrient factors do? They're critical to optimal body functioning. You know, we've got to breathe. We've got to deliver oxygen to every single one of those microcells in the body. And we have to drink correctly structured water. We have to optimize our hydration, optimize a daily detoxification, nothing harsh, nothing sudden, just by the very cleansing foods and nutrients that we take in. Our bodies are able to detoxify on a daily basis, you know, sensible, gentle, so that we don't even notice it's happening, but we're always on cleansing the body. Nutrient delivery, that's extremely important, as I've already mentioned, and the light energy held in living cells. Now, raw foods, enzyme active foods, are the catalyst for those trillions of bodily processes that I just mentioned. And so the drops happen to be viable. When I first joined APL years ago, I understood that the drops underwent some laboratory examinations. An independent laboratory found that the drops contain the enzymes and all of the nutrient factors, the light energy frequencies, the negatively charged ions. Those were all intact in our drops. And I have never seen or heard of any other supplement that had those properties. You know, once you have a supplement in a powder or in a tablet form, it's not going to be as viable. There might be a few enzymes in there to help digest the whole food factors, maybe if that's a good supplement, but it's not going to be active as if you were taking in a live enzyme active raw food. Okay, that's another thing that sets the APL Go drops apart from their ability to improve how your body works. Okay, so maintaining and repairing the DNA's genetic code of instructions, making sure all of our cells are communicating correctly and they're properly executing every single one of the actions that we need to stay alive and thrive. To optimize immune system functions, you know, just recognize and eliminate all the foreign pathogenic or illness-causing organisms, foreign toxins, byproducts that the body produces maybe under stress or just as elimination, you know, cellular debris, old cells that need to be eliminated. So we have to optimize our immune system to be able to help our body stay cleansed. And then maintaining the hormonal glandular system, you know, regulating all the monitoring systems, the brain and nerve functions, and the reproductive system. So we've got 10,000 hormones that are always monitoring along with the immune system and the nervous system. They're always communicating to make sure that we're maintaining our health. Missing nutrient factors, if there's any nutrient factor that's missing, that's why we need to eat a variety of foods and take our nutrient DNA drops so that we can help eliminate this cascade of reactions that force the system to ultimately malfunction. Okay, so we don't want any chronic missing nutrient factors because they will lead to system malfunctions, and then they progressively worsen into further and further degenerating conditions. So I think this is one more before we really get into the drops here. Active viability in APL goes negatively charged drops. So I love to quote what the physicists have long known about living cells and living organisms, about the biophotonic negatively charged ions that are constantly flowing in the body. So we can never have enough of this. So when we take in our drops, then we are getting an additional amount, a boost of the negatively charged drops, and that will neutralize anything that doesn't belong in the body. You know, all what they're called free radicals. It could be a stressor hormone, or it could be a synthetic, you know, a toxic, something that you took in, like in our foods or in the air, or drinking water that do not drink tap water. We have to fix that about our planet. Don't drink tap water. So, you know, we have to make sure that we are taking in the light energy frequencies. And this is what famous Nikola Tesla has to say. He said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Isn't that what we've just discussed here? That's so exciting. And then Albert Einstein, too, he said, atoms are in a constant state of motion, as are sound and thoughts. So even our thoughts and sound has its own vibrational frequency, you know. So the Biology Online Dictionary says a photon is the quantum unit of light energy or electromagnetic radiation. It is emitted when an electron moves from one energy state to another. What do our drops do? They donate the electrons so that we can light up our cells and stay alive and thrive. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay. So I'm going to present them just the way they are presented on the website. We've got the daily group, and then we have the premium formulations, and then we have the elite formulations. All right, so here are the ingredients in GRW and GROW, and what all of these phytonutrient compounds do. All these different, they apply to all the different body systems. Here is the other circulatory system and the lymph nodes, the lymph circulatory system and the nodes. And we have the circulatory system, the blood vessel system, the veins, and then we have all of our glands. Some are even produced in the brain. We've got the, you know, the thyroid and the parathyroid, and we've got some in our digestive organs, and of course the reproductive organs. And then we have the kidney system, the urinary system, and we have the nervous system, well, this communication network, our central control in the brain, and the respiratory system, and then we have the skeletal system, or the you know, the bones, and then we have the digestive system. So the GRW actually has the nutrient compounds, the phytochemicals that will address the needs of the cells of these different body systems. So immune cell production, it'll help produce all the different immune cells, like the T cells, the macrophages. So the saponins, the triterpenes, the polysaccharides, and the flavonoids, these are the major classifications. There's many, many sub-classifications of these compounds, by the way. And on the slideshow, you don't have room. You'd have to get the book, okay? The book lists a whole database of all these different phytonutrients and their sub-classifications. But the detoxification are the proanthocyanidins. The cardiovascular functions are the flavonoids for strong blood vessels. Mitochondria energy production. I mean, these plant compounds will actually help your body produce more energy. And that would be the adenosine. And then we have the phenolic acids for antioxidants, neutralizing those free radicals, anti-aging too. You know, if you've got toxins in your body, you've got sluggish circulatory system, then you're going to age more rapidly. And then we've got the anti-inflammatories. The plant sterols are very, very stellar for reducing the inflammation. They act on their own many times as secondary metabolites, but they also aid the immune system and all the communication systems in the body to help reduce that inflammation. Stress relieving properties, if your nervous system is functioning properly, no neurons are misfiring, you know, you're not reacting to stress because you're so well nourished, then you're not going to have a lot of stress, or your perception of stress will be a little bit different. So the cytoindicides and the acetylsterol glucosides are great for stress relieving. hormone precursors. Our bodies will create the hormones that you need in order to produce the right types of hormones. So all of these plant compounds will help the body produce hormones. Clear the blood vessels, the anthocyanins. They make sure that your blood vessels do not have any obstructions, that they're functioning and they're strong and pliable and flexible. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the GROW. All right, GTS. Now, we've got all these different body systems also. In addition, I added the muscular system and the, let's see if they have anything new here. No, that's pretty much it. So we added the muscular system, muscle contractions, okay, and maintaining lean muscle mass. So the GTS is helps the body produce more energy. So we've got the mitochondria energy production. Those are the eleutherocytes, metabolism regulating organic acids, all of these wonderful. It even has salicylic acid, which the drug industry has always taken from plants that contain salicylic acid to as a pain reliever and put it in their aspirin, you know, or any other pain relieving over the counter kind of thing. So salicylic is actually a plant chemical that is present that is not harsh on the stomach because of the other augmenting nutrients that help neutralize the caustic effects of something that's isolated like that. So it's great for regulating and helping your body produce a lot of the organic acids. So our bodies can produce its own organic acids. So if you ever see anything like this in supplements and someone is trying to say, oh, you've got to have this and this, the be all and end all, this organic acid is wonderful. They don't tell you that the human body produces it. You know, if you're well nourished, your body will produce all the organic acids. And then of course, plants being so compatible with us, they also produce a lot of these same types of organic acids. So these are the precursors right here to help your body produce them. So the GTS also has the glycosides, the essential fatty acids, and all these wonderful resins that help the body regulate its fat, cholesterol, and sugar metabolism. Tissue repairing, anti-mutagenic, antioxidants are the catechins and all the different plant pigments. And of course, the drops contain a lot of plant pigments, not only in the plant materials in the drops, but also in the natural colorants. Okay, so the plant pigments are very important for health as well. Heart, arteries, lungs, nerve cells, these are the sesquiterpenes. They neutralize free radicals so that there is minimal or no damage in the heart, in your arteries, in your lungs, and your nervous system. Okay, stress reduction effects, the cytoindocides, the acetylsterol glucosides again. And like I said earlier, I mean, this acetylsterol glucosides is a main classification. There's many, many sub-classifications. So if you see the same kind of phytonutrients that are in the different formulations, know that there are many, many sub-classifications that will contribute to different aspects of what these different drops will do for the body. So also the flavonoids and the phenolic acids will help cognition, help increase mental alertness, focusing on tasks, and they will enhance your acetylcholine function, which is a precursor to a lot of the nerve conductions in the nervous system. All right, so that's GTS. The norm. So this is all about regulating your blood sugar, aiding your pancreatic functions to produce the insulin needed to take excess blood sugar out of the bloodstream. So it actually aids the function of these different systems in the body so that you can control your blood sugar much more effectively. Like I said, it assists in insulin production. This is the gymnanic acid that are present in a lot of these botanicals. Then we have the anti-hyperlipidemic fat cholesterol metabolism. So not only does the norm help regulate blood sugar, or rather not the norm, but the phytonutrient compounds that are found in the botanicals that are in the norm. We have to make that distinction, don't we? So we have the anti-hyperlipidemic fat cholesterol metabolism also. These are the wonderful tannins, pectin, organic acids like malic, tartaric, citric, chlorogenic, salicylic, arabic, and boric, and ascorbic acid. So these are all natural acids that are present in these plants. Cell protective, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory. So we've got the polyphenols, and that's a huge classification of phytonutrient compounds that do so many different things. Phenolic acids, flavonoids for strong blood vessels, isoflavones, terpenes, anthraquinones, genistein, glucosinolates, and quercetin and apigenin. Can anybody else read those fast? Boy, have I had practice. So anyhow, I'm very patient with people who try their best to really pronounce these words, but believe me, I have had a lot of practice. All right, so then we've got energy efficiency, anti-fatigue. So again, getting into that cell mitochondria, right? And we take that mitochondria DNA information from the plants, and our DNA recognizes that immediately and turns it into something that we can use it in our own mitochondria for energy production. Okay, so everything requires energy. So when you're taking in something that helps regulate blood sugar and the fat metabolism, you know, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, your body is going to be able to produce energy more cleanly and more effectively. And that's all very, very important for people who have blood sugar problems. So we've got the eleutherocytes, the lignans, the coumarins, and the phenylpropanoids. All right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the norm. Power apricot. Okay, so I'm going to make a comment after I go over the power lemon, and I think many of you understand because there's been a lot of questions about either one of these or both of them together, right? I see some smiles there. All right. So aiding proper hormone balance, that is the most important thing that women are always concerned about, right? So we've got the huge classification of carotenoids in nature that are present very strongly in these ingredients. So decreased stress sensitivities, the cytoindocides and the acetylsterol glucosides, there they are again. They are pansystemic. They go through so many different body systems, are utilized, can be utilized, right, with these compounds. So protective antioxidants, detoxification of endocrine system. So there goes, you know, all of our glands and that need to be cleared out of all of these synthetics that people are exposed to, not just in the synthetic chemicals that are sprayed on foods, the pesticides and whatnot, but also the body care products that women take in. They're absorbed through the skin, they go into the bloodstream, they disrupt all of the endocrine system. So try to stick to organic, you know, skincare products or products that are natural and actually nourish the skin. And if some of them enter the bloodstream, then you're not going to be in a state of toxicity. So these compounds here, they will help dissolve those synthetic chemicals and clear your endocrine, your glandular system. All of these things get clogged up, as do the lymph nodes in this system here. And of course, they affect the nervous system because they coat the nerve cells and then render them malfunctioning, you know. And so, yeah, so you want to make sure that you have these things here. These are the beta carotenes, the gamma carotenes, the lycopene, and the beta cryptoxanthin, lutein, and phytoene, and phytofluing, and zeaxanthin. So again, these are just a summary of all of the different compounds in these plants. Then we have the protective effect on the reproductive organs. Again, the glands must produce the right hormones in order to have proper reproduction. Then we have the mitochondria energy production, protecting functions. So we've got the saponins, the unulin, and the melanoidins. Okay, and nutrient utilization, you have to make sure that you're utilizing the nutrients that you're taking in. And by now, I hope everyone's eating, you know, very healthy diets. Malic, citric, acetic, fumaric, tartaric, succinic, glucuronic, malonic, and quinic acids. So these are all helping the body to utilize nutrients. They actually bind to a lot of the molecules of the nutrients, and they help the body administer them through the cell membrane into the cell environment, or help do a whole array of other tasks that help the body utilize nutrients. Okay, so yeah, trying to keep it brief here, people. So mental alertness, focus, obviously is going to help the nervous system. You know, those are the terpenoids and the flavonoids, and also help with hair growth and maintaining the bones and maintaining the connective tissues, which are the tendons. So, you know, it just addresses so many different systems, but all in all, it would make a woman's body more balanced and, you know, younger, as indicated here as the aphrodisiac properties. All right, power apricot. Now, power lemon does a lot of the same thing, but with a little extra boost, you know, a little bit more of the the sitosterol, the different types of plant sterols that a man's body will actually recognize and utilize to make its own set of hormones. You know, we've got female hormones and we've got male hormones, and both genders actually have some of both. But of course, obviously, men have more of the male-oriented hormones, and women have more of the female-oriented hormones. All right, so the alpha pinene, beta pinene, all these things ending in ene, they're very important for helping the body use their hormones, optimize their hormones, and balance their hormones as well. And then energy levels, right down to the mitochondria. We've got mental alertness, focus, cognition, nerve function, physical strength, you know, and even women who exercise, we need physical strength too. We don't have the capacity to build male hormones, so we don't have to worry about turning into a man if we take the power lemon, and vice versa. Men don't have to worry about turning into a woman if they're going to take all of these plant chemicals, because the body knows exactly what to do with them. These aren't feminine plant chemicals, and these are not, you know, masculine plant chemicals. Our bodies can use a lot of these. In fact, women can actually help balance their hormones even further by taking in the power lemon. And of course, men, it doesn't harm them to use those other plant chemicals, you know, but these are very, very important too as well. They're known throughout the world, and the science is very, very strong on how these nutrient compounds will help mental alertness and focus and cognition and nerve function, positive stress responses, immune system, cardiovascular, and the immune and anti-inflammatory. So, you know, like I said before, the human body responds to stress and responds to things that don't belong in the body through this cascade of inflammatory responses, inflammatory biochemical reactions. And over a long term, that can do cell damage. And so that can manifest into a lot of health issues, you know. All right, so that's the power lemon. Now, relax. So this isn't going to put you to sleep, but if you're tired and your body is undergoing a lot of repair work, you're going to feel sleepy, especially if you take the RLX. Not that you shouldn't operate machinery, you know, unless you're actually tired. You can't blame the RLX on that. You know, you have to take care of your body, you have to eat properly, make sure your energy levels are naturally high, and you get enough rest, are hydrated. All of that contributes to a better energetic person, you know. So the relax, if you're particular under a lot of stress, or if you just want to get a good night's rest and just unwind for the day, the RLX will help your nervous system neurons fire properly rather than misfiring. And you know, when you're under stress, they might fire very, very rapidly and just wear out the neural pathways, kind of thing. So this kind of these kinds of chemicals, plant chemicals in these plants will help stabilize the stress. It's an adaptogenic, meaning it goes through the entire body and helps calm things down so that things can help function properly. Anxiolytic, meaning if you're under stress, then it will just try to, you know, return everything back to normal so that you don't feel the stress. Cognition, it works on the nervous system as well. Very nerve protective. You know, all of these nutrient compounds help make sure that your nerve cells are replicating properly, that their structures are optimized, that they're not constantly degenerating or lacking in any function. So the nerves are the nerve to nerve transmission pathways of the body, you know, so everything is felt throughout the whole body, sense of touch or reactions to stress, or how the brain, you know, interprets things. Everything is constantly communicating through this nerve network. So you want to protect those nerves at the microcell level to make sure they're functioning properly. And these are wonderful for helping to make sure that happens. So, okay. It's like I said, calming, nourished. When you have nourished nerves, then you're calm, you know. So also acting on the hormonal system a bit, you know. All of these compounds help make sure that the hormonal system is monitoring and regulating all of its processes correctly and not over responding to anything that the immune system might find or the nervous system might find also. So these are just, you know, basically helping you to relax, providing you with happier moods and emotions, perceptions, and reactions to stress. So then we've got the SLD. All right, so now these plants contain more. See, as you can see, what I tried to do was fit all of the compounds that fit the formulations. Okay, so that's why you're starting to see more and more of these phytonutrient compounds, and I'm not going to read them all to you. I can do it rapidly, that would be fun, but I don't think you want to hear that. Okay, so pain, inflammation, improved ease of movements in joints, muscles, and tendons. So in other words, these plants actually do contain the sulfur molecule. And that's not really, it's on the periodic table of the elements like all the other minerals are, and then some. But we also have the, it's noted that the sulfur compounds in these plants is not a mineral, but it's present in every single one of our trillions of cells. So it has a very, very critical action in every one of our cells to help detoxify and improve the circulatory system, and inside the cell, the circulatory system in the cell too, the flow and the ebb and the flow of in and out of the different kinds of nutrients coming in, and water, always coming in and outside of the cell properly so that we maintain our water balance. Things get detoxified, things get dissolved. The water has this universal component. It does just about everything for the body. It assists in every bodily process. So we have the different compounds that will help reduce inflammation and ultimately improve the tissue components, or the state of flexibility, and youthfulness of your joints and your muscles and your tendons. And then we have the antioxidant components, the anti-inflammatory, tissue repair. Now, we have essential amino acids. We've got 9 essential amino acids that we need in the diet every single day. A lot of plants have many of them, but not all plants have all of them and in enough quantities. But still, they do contribute to tissue repair, like the tryptophan, the tyrosine, the valine, the leucine, threonine, and lysine sterols, all the different plant sterol compounds, and this essential omega-3 fatty acids. So fatty acids are very important as well, especially the omega-3s for tissue repair. Immune system, immune cells love these components in these plants. So your immune system has to be smart too, and it has to be able to recognize whether to respond in an inflammatory way or not. So sometimes when the immune system is suffering, then your body will think everything is attacking it, and it will be very confused. So that means the DNA instructions in your immune cells are damaged. So a lot of times when we take in these plant compounds, then it will do the repair work so that your immune system is back to normal and can recognize what should be and should not be there, what it should respond to and what it should not. Okay, blood cleansing, that's the same kind of concept. It will clear out any kind of cellular debris, anything that's causing inflammatory reactions, and just smooth things out inside the bloodstream so that everything flows more easily. So if you have no inflammation and no pain, that means you've repaired the DNA in your cells, and everything is present there to assist in how you move. Basically, what you do to the inside at the microcell level, the subatomic level, it shows on the outside, right at the macro level. All right, that slide. STP. Okay, so immune system, there's different types of immune cells, right? So our system produces different immune cells and different places in the body. The glands, just different areas of the body are responsible for producing immune cells, especially the lymph nodes and the bone marrow. So those are the main ones that produce a lot of our immune cells. So again, we've got the plant compounds that will help the immune system, anti-inflammatory, anti-stress responses, plus repair. That means no pain. All right. So I just love these components. They're present in, a lot of them are present in many plants, but like I said, the subclassifications also do different kinds of work. So it's very synergistic. So protecting blood vessels, the heart, the circulation. Again, we want to make sure everything is flexible and pliable and clear and circulating so there's no obstructions. So if there's obstructions, if there's inflammation, then you're going to have pain. There's no way around it, protecting the nerve cell, stabilizing the nerves, and also preventing the tissue damage in the first place, reducing anything that doesn't belong in the body, or free radicals as they're called, and then producing the ease of movements. So all of this, people love to use the slide with the stop, and you put those two together and just awesome, awesome. All right, so ALT. So let's talk a little bit more about the immune system. These plants contain so many different compounds that aid the immune system. So we're talking again about the DNA component inside the immune cells. So any kind of repair work that needs to be done to help regulate the immune cells. So that's what's going to, produce a better immune system. So respiratory defenses, we're breathing in particles all over the place. Some areas of the world are worse than others. I used to live in Northern California in wine country, and that was one of the highest, respiratory allergens in the air in the world. And now that I'm living in Arizona, again, it's another, pocket of places where people have severe respiratory problems. And I don't know what it's like in the other parts of the country or of the world, but those are one of the two main places that I was around. But I never had any respiratory issues because I took in all these plant compounds before the drops came along, right? But anyway, yeah. If you want to have a strong immune system, then of course you have to have a healthy diet, taking enough protein, the right types of fats, the right types of carbs, but stay hydrated, get plenty of rest. That will all contribute to a healthier immune system. But sometimes if that DNA is damaged, then you've got to do the repair work. And this is what this set of compounds in these botanicals, in this formulation, will help your body do. Anti-inflammatory, protecting the tissues, making sure there's no damage. Antioxidants, detoxification. These are very, very important compounds because they actually bind to synthetic chemicals and help your body eliminate them at the molecular level or neutralize them so that your immune system can destroy them, and your eliminative systems in the body can help eliminate them altogether. So the ALT is very important for that. MLS, and don't make fun of me for overstuffing this poor slide, but yeah, so MLS is extremely powerful because it has so many different compounds that address all these different body systems, right? So we've got, again, I'll repeat this, the lymph system, the glandular system, the circulatory system, and the urinary system, nervous system, digestive system, respiratory system, skeletal, and the integumentary or skin, and the muscular system. So all 10 body systems are addressed from these plant compounds in all of these amazing botanicals. So the science about a lot of these is just so impressive. The ginger, the grapefruit. I mean, there's so much science on these botanicals. I was shocked. When I did the research on these botanicals, I was amazed that there are so many studies on these. So it's unquestionable. Just take your MLS. All right, so it helps regulate glucose metabolism, your fat, cholesterol metabolism, and even the flow of the bile. Without bile, we can't digest fats. So we have to keep our gallbladder clear and eat the right fats so that it doesn't get clogged up and it doesn't form those types of stones that form in the gallbladder, right? So we have to keep that flowing. Digestion, all these organic acids are very important for helping to maintain the intestines so that it can push along the food's substances and reduce inflammation and making sure everything is being digested absolutely the best way possible. Immune, antioxidants, cardiocirculatory, respiratory system, maintenance, brain nerves, maintenance, detoxing metals, synthetics detox, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti-free radical. It's just amazing what all of these plant compounds can do in the body, and that is the MLS. All right, so let's move to the cardiovascular system. So we have to maintain our heart. If we don't, then we can't be around. It's just as simple as that. It's one of the vital organs that we just simply cannot be without ever. So we have to pay particular attention to maintaining and nourishing the heart cells and the blood vessels that run through it, and the oxygenation that we breathe in, that feeds the oxygen in through the heart. And so these systems have to work together. Circulatory, cardiovascular, respiratory, endurance. You know, if you want to start exercising, and make sure that your heart is in as good a shape as you possibly can, or get it there gradually and slowly, of course, with the help of your medical doctor and your okay through your doctor. So don't try any exercise program if you have had any kind of heart issues, or even if you don't and you haven't ever exercised, or you haven't exercised in a few years. You know, a lot of conditions can start degenerating even if you haven't exercised in a year, you know, even if you have a healthy diet. So making sure that you're taking in the compounds from these botanicals is very important. Immune modulation, antioxidants, toxic chemical detox, DNA protective, antimicrobial. So most or all of the plants that we've been covering today are antimicrobial. That's just the nature of these phytonutrient compounds. They will disable a lot of the microbes that cause illness. You know, bacteria, viruses, and the the microbes. You know, the parasites, the fungi, all those little microbes that make people ill and cause health issues. So these plants will just neutralize them or render them, you know, unable to live or even replicate or anything like that. So they are pretty effective about destroying these microbes. And then we've got the nervous system, learning, cognition. Of course, it's going to nourish the nervous system so that your brain works better, your thinking, your cognition, your response to stress, your interactions with people, even your own thoughts are improved because you're more chemically balanced. So the nervous system is very important, that it's going to detect things, and so you don't overreact to things. All right, so antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antioxidative stress, anti-free radical. Look at all of these wonderful plant compounds and their subclassifications. It's amazing. And I already talked about the antimicrobial aspect. So you maintain the heart, you maintain the blood system, you maintain the immune system with these nutrient compounds in these plants in this formulation. Then you'll have a healthy heart, and you know, you put it all together and things cannot go wrong here. Hopefully. All right. So then we have ice, digestion, cleansing, intestine, normalizing the acid-alkaline balance. So that's very important. If you're eating too much meat and not enough of the plant kingdom, you're going to have an acidic and inflammatory conditions. You know, you're going to be in pain and inflammation. If you're eating only from the plant kingdom and you're not getting enough animal-derived proteins, you're going to have another set of problems. Even serious problems. You know, it could be anything from dizziness or nausea or even vomiting in some extreme cases. So you have to have a balance, and the drops provide so many of these nutrient compounds that helps provide that balance. Okay, so healthy diet, take your drops, and you will have a nice balance in your pH in your body. So it's anti-inflammatory. All of these plant compounds soothe and relieve. They help repair the stomach tissues. You know, a lot of times people will get these perforations in the stomach, and they will start getting ulcers. You know, any kind of damage in the stomach lining is extremely painful. So you can make sure that these compounds in these plants will help repair that or maintain that, to prevent that, and to destroy any organism that can survive such a high acidic environment, kind of thing. Antimicrobial, toxins in the blood, urinary tract detoxification. So drinking plenty of water and eating, you know, the proper diet, like I just outlined, carotenoids, monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, aliphatic compounds. So all of these compounds will help improve the quality of your blood. Okay. Antioxidants, anti-free radicals, there they are again. Of course, we have to have those. They're in the plant kingdom. We can't just have any formulation that does only some things. A lot of these plants are pansystemic. They address many different body systems. But the ice has particular, you know, ingredients in it that will help not just repair, but help digest, you know. So they also will protect the secretions in the stomach. The gastric protections are these compounds here, immune modulatory. So they work on the immune system too, so that it can take care of anything that might be a problem, kind of thing. So it's a pretty well-balanced digestive system drop for you. So then we have the heifer, the liver. Not just the liver, it will help detoxify and help with sugar metabolism. So it'll help the pancreas work properly as well, help with digestion and fat metabolism, cholesterol metabolism, make sure that your gallbladder is working properly, that there's that circulatory system will help the bile flow through the gallbladder to help digest fats along the way, and healthy microbial intestinal environment. So it establishes the right types of aerobic bacteria in the colon or the gut, the lower intestine. So that's extremely important for people's health too. They totally underestimate the health of the colon. So it's also great for as an antioxidant, liver detoxification. It binds to toxic chemicals. It eliminates the free radicals and neutralizes them. And so, so all in all, if you have a healthy liver, then you're going to have healthy blood. And so you want to make sure you maintain that particular organ especially. So all these protective liver functions that prevent it from getting overwhelmed with toxicity is very important. Energy production, and the circulation. So curcumin in this formulation, in the turmeric root, is very, very important for helping to improve the circulation. So all in all, you want clean blood so that you have a clean liver, and that will help neutralize any kind of toxins in your body. That's what the heifer is for. So now we have the air. And basically, it's very impressive to see what all of these compounds do for different areas of the body, and they serve different purposes, and especially if they're combined with other plants and their compounds, how they have an amazing synergistic effect. So we have free-flowing circulation, a self-cleansing, self-regenerating kind of thing happening at the microcell level to keep things clear so you can breathe better. You've got a better circulatory system, you're eliminating toxins, and it's just everything is more free flowing. The immune system is doing its job. The antioxidants are neutralizing these free radicals, antimicrobial actions. If anything even dares to start replicating in your body that doesn't belong there, then it'll take care of that. Look at all these compounds that'll just destroy all of these illness-causing microbes. It's anti-inflammatory, especially, they threw in the antioxidant vitamins and the precursors to so many different hormones that help regulate how things happen in the body. So vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc is extremely important. Now, don't go out and start buying, individual vitamins, because they are present in these plant compounds in a synergistic, molecularly, biologically available form. So if you're going to buy a supplement, you have to make sure it's organic and whole food based. A lot of supplements out there are just synthetic, and your body can't use them. It's only partial molecules. It has to figure out what to do with them. And if that molecule is incomplete, then it's not compatible. It's not absorbable. It's not utilizable, and out it goes. Your body has to get rid of it. So this is great that they added these plant-based nutrients in there as well. All right, so that is the air. Now we've got HPY, the happy, and I love that it has all these botanicals that have these compounds that actually contribute to happier feelings, feelings of well-being, and not reacting so much, overreacting to stress kind of thing. So it calms the nervous system down, doesn't sedate you, but just puts everything in perspective, biologically and physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it helps maintain this biochemical balance. It does a wonderful job of doing that. Adaptogenic, anxiolytic, decreasing sensitivity to stress, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, immune boosting. And that's very important. If you're going to be in a good mood, you want to make sure that you don't have any pain and inflammation going on in the body, that your body's eliminating any kind of toxins that might be entering the body. Immune boosting, making sure that your immune system is taking care of what it needs to take care of. Energy production at the mitochondria cell level, and if you're exercising, it'll provide better stamina. If your circulatory system is working and everything is clear and your hormones are balanced, you're going to be in a much better mood and probably in more feeling more like exercising or getting out outside and into the fresh air. All right, so then promoting cerebral circulation, cognition, learning, memory. Again, all of these functions are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so this is what all of these compounds in this formulation, in these plants, will help the body do. Menstrual cycle, menopause, these are the curcuminoids that are so effective. Other compounds work together with it, not just the curcuminoids, although it is a vast classification of different types of curcuminoids, but they will also help balance the menstrual cycle. And actually, menopause is not normal. Just because you cease menstruation doesn't mean that you have hot flashes or mood swings or anything like that. Okay, when I hit 50, I didn't have the symptoms. I was already well nourished. I was already exercising. I was already doing everything that I had ever learned to apply to myself. And I was surprised that other people my age were having these problems. Of course, my clients, I'd fix that right away. But yeah, the compounds in the happy will keep you happy and will keep you from these hot flashes, right? All right, so here we go. That's the happy. BRN, of course, we want our brain to not get senile, okay? So it's anti-senility. Cell signaling is very important. Nerve transmission is very important. You don't want those neurons to misfire. You want them to reach their destination, right? From one part of the body to the next to let you know what's going on, to help the brain function too. It's neurons, it's circulatory, everything that's going on in the brain. We want to make sure that's functioning. Memory, brain-derived neurotropic factor, BDNF, production is very important. So all of these compounds help maintain the brain. All right, so we want to keep inflammation out of the brain. We want to make sure we have antioxidants that are always protecting the brain tissues. So therefore, we have better stress perception and reduction of stress, and that means better circulation in the brain and the blood vessels. So all of these compounds in these botanicals in this formulation will help improve brain functioning. BTY, if your body's cleansed, if your hormones are balanced, and all the nutrients are being utilized in every single system in the body, your sugar metabolism, your fat metabolism, your hormones are balanced. You're so well nourished that you don't overreact to stress. You don't let it get to you. If there is extreme stress in your life, you will make better decisions, better choices. All of this cognition, what's going on in the world, what am I doing here, kind of thing. Cognition is being able to perceive information more accurately, kind of thing, without misinterpreting things, just all around circulation. So all of this contributes toward how attractive a person is, right? So it will prevent a lot of the rapid aging, which means rapid cell degeneration. The body's unable to repair and regenerate itself. So, that's basically what all these compounds do in this B2Y formula. So all in all, you have better skin, better circulation, all your organs are functioning better. I mean, look at all of these botanicals. They have all of these array of compounds in them for these different body systems that actually produce a more, not just physically attractive person, but vibrantly healthy. If you're vibrating at a higher frequency associated with optimal health vibrancy, then I can see why they would call this BTY or beauty. So PFT, all right, everybody is always concerned about losing that fat, right? And yes, I mean, all of the old-fashioned things, the way the body was designed, exercise, calories in, calories out, burn more calories than you're taking in, kind of thing, maintaining high nutrients, in the body for better exercise, for better energy to exercise. So the PFT actually, though, does contain some of these amazing compounds of the energy, excuse me, the scientific research on these compounds is very surprising. You know, I was never advocating a fast weight loss. It just doesn't happen. But when you are taking in a combination of these proven compounds that actually do help your body utilize the fat storage deep inside, it's called visceral fat, not just cutaneous fat on the surface, but inside where the organs are, where your body stores additional fat and holds it there for emergencies, you know, in case there's a famine. Our bodies are very good at anticipating famines. It'll store that fat, boy. It'll just store it right up just for future use, right? But it's not feasible in this kind of civilization where we are able to just exercise and not worry about it so much, right? Okay, so these compounds will actually help you break down that visceral fat and use it for energy. Okay, that's how it aids the fat burning exercise. Normally, in order to burn the subcutaneous fat and eventually get to, you know, the visceral fat inside, is to do aerobic type of work where you elevate your heart rate and you do the deep breathing and you constantly elevate, you know, stay at that elevated pace in any kind of aerobic exercise so that you can kick into the fat burning stage. You know, the first few minutes of exercise, you're burning blood glucose, storage glycogen in the muscles, converting that to glucose for immediate energy. But if you sustain an exercise over a period of time, you'll dip into the fat burning stage. And that takes a lot of strength and energy, you know, not just physical energy. You have to be in pretty good health in order to get to that point. You also want to have the desire, you know, to work that hard to burn off that fat. And that's just the way we're made. You know, I always just say, I'm sorry, I wish I had a fast way to do that, but you try to crash diet and you're just going to end up wasting away your valuable muscle tissue or your organs, you know, or deplete the health of your blood, right? Become anemic or something, or affect your immune system and get sick, and then feel so hungry and so nutrient deprived, you have all these cravings, you'll go right back to your old ways and gain even more weight. That's just how the body is. I was like, okay, I was in famine, she was starving me, now I'm going to hold on to that fat like my life depends on it, literally. Okay, so it just doesn't work. But when you have something like this that has not just one fat burner, but many fat burners, okay, then you put them all together into one, and that's why we're seeing such great results for people in here. So it's brilliant. It's just an absolute brilliant formulation. So it addresses everything, your fat metabolism, reduces your blood lipids, and of course the visceral fat, using it for energy, and then the carbohydrate metabolism, the healthy gut, okay, maintaining the right types of aerobic bacteria in the gut. That's very important for how your body handles carbohydrates and fats and anything else. Antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, detoxifying. So it does it all. You know, it helps you get rid of the stuff that interferes with your hormones that could affect your body weight and how your body handles fat. So the PFT is one brilliant formulation. And of course, the natural other ingredients that are nutraceuticals, the kosher non-synthetic food-derived flavorings, and they're plant compounds that are very, very good because they take them from the skins of these plants, GMO organic sweeteners. And then we've got the food-derived colorants. Those are not synthetic, even though they're labeled numbers, because our FDA just doesn't separate the way they number it, whether it's synthetic or a food-derived colorant or not. But don't be, you know, put off by the numbers here. But those are all food-derived colorants. I've looked them up. I made sure. The preservative acidifier is citric acid. Now, if you isolate citric acid and you take too much of it in a tablet form, you're going to have stomach issues, you know. But if you're taking it in as a whole holistic, you know, synergistic type of drop, like the APL drops, the citric acid is a very good preservative and acidifier. And also, by the way, the body makes citric acid every time it makes the unit of energy called ATP. So when your cells go to work and produce energy, citric acid is a very important component of that molecule. So don't be afraid of citric acid. All right, so everything I've talked about today, I used from the extensively researched book that I produced for APL Go people and the public. I added a lot more botanicals in it eventually, but this is, if you want to reference the book, then this is how you reference it. It's just a scientific standard. And if you'd like to peruse any of the other books that I wrote specifically for maintaining health and everything, then you can go to my website. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And I return that back to you, Carmen.
I think Carmen stepped away, but I'm here.
Okay, hi, Julia.
And of course, like Sherry Denny said, the more you talk, the more drops I put in my mouth. So, okay, a lot of head nods with that. Sherry started something there. I don't know if you see, but there are a couple of questions that people have. Can you see that in the chat, or should I read them to you?
I do see them, but go ahead and read them to me.
Okay, the first one that we see is my nephew has candida and he was told no sugar. Can he take our drops?
Okay, so candida is the pain in the body yeast that grows very, very quickly. So if he were to just take in like a gigantic leafy green herbal salad, or vegetables, and juice them and just drink them down, then yes, he can have the drops. Even the 1 gram of sugar in the drops might aggravate it. Depends on the rest of his diet. What causes that is too much sugar in the diet and exposure, of course. The only way to do that is to make sure you're taking a lot of phytonutrient compounds. The raw nuts and seeds are also very great for reducing that as well. The raw garlic and onions, things like that are great antimicrobials, very powerful. But if it weren't for that 1 gram of sugar in the drop, normally it's not a problem at all, because you saw all those plant compounds in the formulation. They will destroy the microbes. But just to be safe, I have to protect the company, protect my reputation, and just to cover all bases, then I would do both.
I will tell you from personal experience, my own personal experience with candida, MLS did support. It did help me as a personal testimonial. Obviously not like you're saying, but I personally had good experience from that. The next, yeah, it really shocked me, but it was great. Next question was, how many can a person take per hour?
Okay, watch that sugar. If you're taking in an 8-hour period 8 drops, or a 16-hour period 16 drops, you're going to have a significant amount of white sugar in the body. So a healthy diet is very important, but also you're taking a lot of antimicrobial compounds. And if your body can handle it without any side effects from the sugar, then by all means. I'm not even worried about the sugar in the drops, truthfully, especially when you just told me your own testimonial, Julia. I'm sure there are, 99% of people out there will say the same thing. And it doesn't surprise me, because these plant compounds are so powerful, So yeah, just too much of a good thing, might be something you might want to look at if you're having some kind of reaction. But otherwise, if you can handle it, just drink a lot of water too. That sugar can turn into so the acid that can dissolve the tooth enamel. So make sure you're swishing with water, constantly when you take the drops as well.
Terrific. What would be suggested if feet and leg cramps, or if you're having feet and leg cramps at night, the person is drinking water regularly? Which drop would be suggested?
Oh, okay. So, let's see. GRW is what comes to mind. MLS, or any one of the elite drops, they have an array of the compounds that will help regulate the muscular system, the nervous system, how the nervous system responds, circulatory system, the HRT, make sure that you have a very good circulation. And then staying hydrated, yeah, that's important. But if you're drinking a lot of water and you're still getting the cramps, your body may not be absorbing that water. So the electrolyte balance is very, very important. Don't go out and get, something like the sports drinks, they just have sugar and sodium and potassium, and that's not enough, and not in the right absorbable form. The drops will help regulate that, but also taking in plenty of foods that are from the plant kingdom as well, especially the organics that are higher in minerals, so your body can balance its mineral content, in the bloodstream. If someone is low in potassium and high in phosphorus, they're eating too many meats and not enough of the fruits, that contain high potassiums, or even other plants. Any plant that is grown in the United States is going to be higher in potassium. So, balancing your sodium and potassium is very important, but try not to eat too much sodium in the diet, but just balance that out. Watch your sodium intake and watch your potassium intake and balance that out as well.
That's excellent. This is an interesting question. Is HPR, well, I guess here's really the good question. What is a good drop for a dialysis patient?
Okay, that's very tricky because they can only take in so many nutrients and so much water. They have to really watch that. And of course, it depends on how damaged the kidneys are. So they have to consult with the kidney centers to make sure that they're doing the fluid balancing correctly. Any one of the drops will be fine as long as they're not taking too many at once, because that amount of sugar will upset the balance of fluids in the body. It's very, very critical when you have kidney damage. So I'd be very careful with that.
How would I address my dentist that is sure these will cause cavities?
Okay, so there's over 60 countries, millions of people are taking the drops, and you don't hear a lot of problems about cavities. It's those who don't swish with water. It's just with any carbohydrate, really. I mean, you can eat a lot of raisins and that can cause cavities, because that's a lot of sugar on the teeth. So just swishing with water and those antimicrobial compounds that are so prevalent in these drops will outweigh, that kind of problem. So that's how I would approach the dentist. Show them the science. We have a lot of PDF documents at my website that I post after every Zoom call, holisticchoices.com/APL, and you'll see all of the documents that you can download, and it'll list all of the antimicrobial, you can just put it together and show your doctor or dentist and see what they say.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. It looks like we've got everything. I do see one question which I'm going to guess the answer to, but I'm going to ask it. Someone's body odor has changed because of PFT. Is that normal, and how long does it last?
Okay, so body odors have to do with how well your body can eliminate the synthetic toxins, the bacterial, the microbes, anything that is causing the body to not detoxify. Okay, so drinking plenty of bottled spring water is probably the best bet. Any other water is not going to do what the spring water does. So drinking plenty of that and flushing out toxins, taking the drops to help flush out the toxins. And of course, body odor is also caused by bacteria that emits an odor. So personal hygiene is very important, not to assume that the person is not clean or anything like that. But a lot of things can contribute to body odor: degeneration, a deterioration in the gut, the colon, not eating enough fiber, or foods that contain a lot of the phytonutrient compounds that are in the drops. So taking more drops will help that as well. So all of the above, anything you have to do to help the body detox on a daily basis, and eventually that will clear up as well.
That's wonderful. I just got a comment from from the peanut gallery, somebody who is saying her personal testimonial. She's on this call regarding teeth. I had plaque fall off, literally fall off. I looked up the ingredients on the drops I take, and there were several super plaque busters. So that was really encouraging for anybody. And someone asked for the link. Kathleen asked for the link. Kathleen, it looks like Kevin and Esther, other Esther, have both put the link in of holisticchoices.com. That is your website. Is that right, Mary Esther?
Yeah, holisticchoices.com/APL, or you can explore the rest of the site too, but that's where I post all the APL things. All the videos that we've done too are on that page.
That's fantastic. Really? Okay. That if everyone didn't know that, I did not know that. So I'm going to raise my hand. I
Oh,
did
wow.
not realize that all the videos were there. I have been hunting them down individually and putting them in my
Yes,
own YouTube channel.
I
So
have
that
too.
was,
Yeah,
that is excellent. Thank you for letting us know that.
sure.
I think I have gotten everything that I can.
I'd like to respond to the plaque question.
Okay.
Or the plaque statement. So that goes to show you that our drops are enzyme active, that they have live negatively charged particles. So that will cause a kind of vibrational frequency, at the atomic level to help loosen a lot of that plaque. So that's really exciting. That's one of the proofs that we have, that these drops are active that way.
That is incredible.
Yes.
Yes, we do use beet sugar. That is the type of sugar that we use is beet sugar. And the nutritional value of the drops is found on the box itself, right here on the back of the box. You can check the back of your box for that. Our drops are 100% absorbable, nearly 100% absorbable within about 15 minutes. Is that correct, Mary Esther?
I would say they're 100% absorbable. Yeah. That's because of the technology, and the size of the molecules of the phytonutrient compounds and the sugar, how your body breaks down the sucrose immediately into fructose and glucose. That's immediately absorbable through the cell membrane. So all of it.
And anything you would put on your body or into your body would not typically be 100% absorbable within any time frame. I'm just being clear on that because some people are asking about different kinds of things, and we don't talk about other products here. We talk about our product here. So the question is why we don't use stevia. I'm grateful we don't use stevia. I'm very allergic to that. But we do have molasses in our drops, yes, and we don't use stevia. Why don't we use stevia, Mary Esther? I kind of think I know, but you should tell them.
Well, yeah, stevia extract, the white powder. If it's organic, you've got one component of the plant, the extract, that is the sweetening aspect of the leaf, right? But if it's isolated and concentrated, it's going to have some reactions in some people's bodies. It's not something that's going to be immediately usable. It's just one small, you saw all those nutrient compounds in the slideshow from all these botanicals. They work in synergy. So if you just extract one component from the plant, it's going to have some side effects, maybe. Usually, your body can handle a plant component like that. But if it's concentrated and you're using it all the time, it could be hard on the kidneys, or other things, right? So stevia root, however, is the whole root, or the stevia leaf, I'm sorry, the stevia leaf in a powder form is the whole plant, but it's not enzyme active because they have to process it and they have to destroy any microorganisms in the powder. So you don't have that component in it. So stevia, unless you have a plant, you're growing the plant and you're eating the leaves every day, then you're better off just, eating the drops. They have a lot of the enzymes and the light energy frequencies and the negatively charged particles, as we just said. So yeah, the stevia drops are much better.
This has been incredible. Everyone is thrilled with what you've said. I am so grateful to you, but I am one voice. So I want to unmute and have everyone say thank you all at one time. Then I'm going to mute you guys again so we can wrap up. But actually, let's see here if I can allow you all to unmute. Can everyone all at once say thank you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks, Esther. Thanks, Julia. Great night.
Thank you